Hello folks, been a bit exciting today because an album turned up that I've been waiting for 30 years almost. Yeah, 30 years we've been waiting for this. This is the album. It's by Light of Day, and Light of Day are Rob Dean and Isaac Moraga. They're based in Costa Rica. Rob Dean was the lead guitarist in my favourite band of all time, Japan. Um, and Rob's been out of the music scene for the last 30 years. He's dipped his toe in a couple of times since then. So what I thought I'd do before I talk about this album, just give you a very quick overview. This video is more for friends of mine rather than people from the Japan community who will already know all about this. But just thought I've got lots of friends. I've got lots of friends. I've got one or two friends. No, I've got lots of friends who love music generally, and I think they'll love this album. I've managed to live with it for a couple of weeks. I got a promo copy sent to me for other reasons, which I won't go into. But so I've had a chance to digest this album, and it's been well worth the wait. But what I thought I'd do is just a very quick overview of who is Rob Dean. Who is Rob Dean? Well, Rob was, I say, the lead guitarist in Japan, and Rob was on 4 of Japan's 5 studio albums. He wasn't on the last one, Tin Drum. So, and then in the 80s, he did various things, solo bits, session work, live work, and then he went living in South America, and he's been there for 25, 26, 27 years in Costa Rica, doing other things, which I'll touch briefly on. So yeah, as I say, Rob was an original member of Japan, and he was all over this. The first album, Adolescent Sex. That's Rob there. Okay. And he was on Obscure Alternatives, the second album, and then Japan's first masterpiece, Quiet Life. And Rob's playing on this album, as any Japan fans will tell you, absolutely sublime. Some lovely sounds on this, courtesy of Rob. And then the final album he did with Japan was Gentlemen Take Polaroids, and as Sylvian started taking over the band a bit more, there was less for Rob to do, so amicably they split. Rob decided to leave. No big fallout. He wanted to do other things, and then Rob left them, and then he went to America in the very early 80s, and he ended up working with Gary Newman on an album, Dance, and then did some live work with Gary, and then did a project called Illustrated Man. There's Rob there. And they did this is like a mini album, 6 tracks on this. They were hoping to do a full album, but that never materialised. So Rob did this in about 84, and then in around about 86, Rob ended up playing on Sinead O Connor, this one, The Lion and the Cobra. Rob did a lot of work on this with Sinead, helping to get her career going, and I know he's very proud of this album, and rightly so. And then in 1990, Rob went over to Australia, and he got a band together called the Slow Club, and they brought this out on Virgin Records over in Australia, and this is actually a really good album. Some great songs on this. If it has any faults, it's a little bit too polished for some. But think the Waterboys kind of thing. A kind of, as Rob's admitted, they threw the kitchen sink at this. But the songs shine through. But this came out in 1990, and whilst they were getting ready to do some promo work, Rob decided to take a holiday and he ended up going over to South America. But then the awkward sod decided to stay there for 30 years nearly. But he wasn't idle when he was over there, because Rob's a very talented guy, and he does illustrations for field books, for Twitchers. All these are Rob's work. Isn't he clever? And then last few years or so, he joined a couple of the Japan Facebook groups, and as he has made himself, he was quite surprised at kind of the love he was held in. Yeah, I think it surprised him that how we all, because he kind of gets forgotten in the Japan history. He read a lot of magazine articles, and Rob tends to get left out. And I think that was more a case that when Rob left after Polaroids, Japan hadn't had any hits up to that point, and then they re-released Quiet Life, and the rest is history, so to speak. But Rob had already gone by then, so people tend to think it was just the four guys in Japan, but us fans know different, and it's something that gets on our nerves when we see history rewritten and all that. But not that it bothers Rob, it seems to bother us more. But anyway, so last few years, last 2 or 3 years, he's been busy doing this album, and I have to say, well, be a couple of years ago now, I was on night shift at work, and Rob messaged me and said, Craig, have a listen to this, what do you think of it? Something I've been working on, and it was a track that's ended up on this album called Escape. And when a hero sends you something like that, you think, what if it's crap? What do I say to him? Anyway, I played it, and it was absolutely amazing, and there's some guitar work on it, but when you buy it, you'll know what I mean. But to me, bear in mind, it's my frame of reference. Straight away, it sounded something like Earl Slick would do on Station to Station. It's just this searing guitar solo at the end. Well, I say at the end, for the last 2 minutes on the album. It's called Escape, and it absolutely blew me away. And I messaged Rob back and said, what the fuck was that? Please, please, please don't mix that down. Don't mix it down. Keep it as it is. And thankfully he has. So I say this came a couple of weeks ago for me, but then today the vinyl dropped on my doormat, and I'll say we all got all excited. Look at beauty in the artwork on that, stunning. The album's called Dimensions. Isn't that fantastic? Lovely gatefold. I don't want to get the guy's name wrong, but the artwork is by Bosco Mattel. And speaking to Rob, the guys give the project the go ahead to use other bits of similar artworks, which we'll see on other releases, I guess. But isn't that cool? I always like to show the vinyl. Nice stuff. And the album itself, you won't believe he's been off the scene for 30 years. It's like this is like his album number 6. You know, after doing 5 previous albums in the 5 years previous, you know, an album a year. But just sounds, the guitar sounds on this just sounds so contemporary. I'm trying to think who would you hear? I hear Robert Fripp. I hear, there's a couple of tracks on here I've not asked Rob, but I can hear Earl Slick as well. But again, these are from my frame of reference. Rob may tell you completely different, but there's some beautiful playing on this. For Japan fans, it sounds it's nothing like Japan. The only album I'd sort of say it's similar with is Quiet Life, only in so much as the variety of guitar sounds used, and that'll make more sense when you listen to this. But I'd say it's nothing like Japan. Don't expect any Japan influences on this, other than it's Rob playing. But there's some beautiful songs on this. Escape, as I say, but there's two, I call them ballads. Rob shouted at me when I said that. But there's one called Doll, track number 2 there, which is really beautiful, and Naive down there. And what I picked up on with this is, and Rob said it was meant, is all the tracks. What they've done with it is, none of the songs are more than 5 minutes long, so there's nothing that's not accessible. So they're all accessible. And what he's kind of done is, Rob and Isaac, is they'll any particular track might start with a vocal and just a couple of lines of lyrics in the first minute of the song, and then for the next 3 or 4 minutes it's just music. Or you might flip it the other way around, 2 or 3 minutes of music, and then the last couple of minutes a couple of lines of lyrics, and it's just makes the album flow. And I always get a sense of space with this album. And interestingly, if you can see, he's got 3 tracks there with in brackets called Interludes, which are your chance to get your breath back. Basically, after listening to some of the tracks, and then we go into the odd interlude. So we have the first one, we have Interlude 1, we've got Interlude 2, Find the Light, and we have Interlude 3, and I have no idea what that says. Well, these are lovely, not ambient guitar, but just sort of little atmospheres that break the album up in a really nice way. Harlequin's Carnival, we were told this was actually an old track from over 30 years ago that Rob revisited and sort of finished off. But the rest is all brand new stuff written by Rob and Isaac. Isaac's a vocalist, by the way, should say that. But Rob plays, well, let's have a quick look. Electric guitars, the EBO, of course, some harmonica and backing vocals, Isaac's vocals, acoustic and electric guitars, and then obviously all the rest of the band chip in. But I know we have Japan fans, or we've been excited because it has been a long time coming. This, but I say 2 or 3 years it's been on the go. But and it was ready to go last year, and then for various reasons, because obviously Rob's not got a record deal as such, he was trying to find the right people to help him release it, which he has done, thanks to Last Word Music down there. So they've helped pull it all together, and then of course we had the coronavirus thing, so that's put Rob back a few weeks. He was hoping to come over and promote it, but for obvious reasons we can't do that now. So against all the odds, we've got it. And also, just before we go, because I've been a busy fella this year, Rob. I say us Japan fans, we get annoyed at the way he was rewritten out of history, and we think not giving his rightful due, until we got this book that's literally come out this past month as well. Written by my good friend Stephen Olden with help from Anthony Reynolds, and this is a fan book. Stephen's adventures on the road with his mate Phil Lockett, and Rob, being the gent he is, Rob did the foreword. This follows basically Stephen's favourite period of Japan, which were the early days, which obviously Rob features heavily on. And this is great, but loads of great Japan pictures from back in the day, 1978, 79 and 80. Loads of live shots. So just giving it a little plug for you, Stephen. But yeah, and again, that's as Stephen will tell you, he fell out of love with Japan when Rob left the band. That's how important Rob was, or is, to the band Japan. So before we get that in for you, so yeah, really excited to finally get this. So what I'll do, when I'll stick it on YouTube, and I'll put the link in to get it, because it's on the you can get it from the Burning Shed site, but I'm sure in a few months time it'll be you better get it from various places, but I'll put the link on where you can get it from. I say this, and also what it said is it's out on limited orange vinyl as well, which you can get exclusively from Burning Shed. But I always say this, get them as soon as you can, because when they're gone, they're gone. And I think the vinyl's limited as well, so you know, don't hang about, get them ordered. And if you can't afford the vinyl, get the CD. It's only a tenner. It'll be the best tenner you spend this year. Look at that, fantastic. Just to say, congratulations to Rob and Isaac on pulling this together. It really has generally been worth the wait. Light of Day, Dimensions, get it in your life. Ta-da!